So we have different types of cookware. One of the things we have is we have the cast iron. There's black iron steel pans that you can get from France. A lot of places will use the aluminum. Aluminum heats up, but it also cools off rapidly due to the thickness and how well it conducts. So when you're doing something you want to get a really nice sear on, you're much better off using something such as cast iron. So we're going to do a pan-seared tenderloin. In order to get the best sear possible, we're going to do it in the cast iron. We'll season it. Salt, pepper, sort of a continuing theme in these series. We have a little bit of oil, high smoke point. And I want to get it nice and hot. I take the time to make sure the pan gets nice and very hot. We get a good sear. Then we'll add a little bit of flavoring. You can feel the heat coming up. You look for wisps of smoke. Don't let it smoke a lot before you put it in. But if you wait, there you go. We can see just a wisp of smoke coming out. So put it in. You can see the sizzling all the way around the steak. Again, pan searing is for your more tender pieces of meat, your steaks, your chicken, pieces of lamb, that sort of thing. Also, it's often used to create flavor before you start a stew. So if you're doing a large amount of stew, you may use several cast iron pans to sear off all your meat before you actually go into the stewing process, as opposed to having 5 or 6 batches of meat that you're searing. Again, don't touch it. Let the meat cook at its own speed. People want to move it around. No, you just want to let it go. Let it finish. Let it dictate the temperature. Let it dictate how it's going to cook. We have a nice heat going. I'm looking along the edges here for it to become golden brown, and they get a nice sear going. You can always finish it in the oven. So, see, it doesn't want to let go. So let go for a few more moments. If it won't release from the pan, so long as you put it in the pan while the pan was hot, it will release when it's properly crusted. Adjust the heat just a little bit. Ideally, I'd have a smaller pan, but given a choice between the metal, because the metal here is not overheated, or aluminum pan, I'd rather use a cast iron. There we go. You have a nice brown color going. I've turned down the heat just a little bit, and the pan will retain much of the heat. It'll keep that heat in there, and that's what makes it so effective for searing. Cast iron pans are what they use for making blackened steaks, that sort of thing, because it retains that heat and it can keep pushing the heat up through. You can see the fire's not on super hot. Again, it doesn't want to let go, so just let it go. There's chefs that have different opinions. There's ones that'll baste. There's ones that will rotate the meat every 30 seconds. They would literally, once they get the initial sear, keep turning, so it acts very much like a rotisserie. So the heat, as we've mentioned, the juice is being pushed away from the heat. And so what they do is by turning it every 30 seconds, it will keep the juice in the middle and reduce the loss of the moisture of the meat, giving you a more succulent, juicier piece of steak. And so we'll flip it back over. I'm gonna add a little bit of aromatics and garlic and some thyme just for flavor. Careful not to burn it. At the very end, we'll finish it with a little butter. And I'm gonna keep these close to the steak, not over here where the pan is a little hotter. And these will infuse in the oil and impart that flavor to the steak. At this point, if you wanted to, if you're in a very busy restaurant, you would go in the oven until it's finished. We have the luxury here at the moment to really take the time to do a full pan sear and just rotate it on occasion so that we can keep that. As you see, we're getting that nice brown color. At the very end, we're going to finish it with just a little bit of butter. As I mentioned, some chefs will You'll see the temperature starting to drop a little bit as we turn down the temperature. We're going to keep rotating it. You see a little juice coming out. So we'll put a little butter in. Not a lot. And that butter is going to infuse into the steak. Put it on top. Let it melt down through, almost like you were doing a turkey. We can baste it. And that forces the juice back down through as well. So these are, techniques that, not necessary, but they do impart a higher flavor and a stronger crust onto your steak. Again, we want to get that flavor. Taking the time to really get that flavor deep into that piece of meat. When we finish, we'll be well rewarded with very nice crust, very deep flavor, and a very nice tenderloin. I'm going to temp it. We're working on a rare, medium rare. Easiest way to learn to temp. Your hands like this, relaxed. This is sort of rare. If you cock your thumb in, this is medium rare. If you tighten up, this is medium. If you start going over, make a fist, that's well done. A really tight fist, a lesser fist. So if you just cock your thumb, this is what medium rare feels like. And that's how chefs temp meat. They'll push the meat. If you've ever watched the show and you're like, why does that guy keep touching my steak? He's actually trying to tempt the meat. Do one more little basting. And here again, we want to let it rest. We're going to take it out. Have a pan-seared piece of pan-seared steak. Very thick. Nicely crusted. You can see the beautiful crust on it. And you can actually smell the aromatics from the garlic and the thyme. And the butter will have infused in flavor as well. We'll let this sit for a few moments, and then the juices will go all the way through.